Hello, I decided to answer some of the questions about record collecting from Spellerine's video. I cannot answer all the questions I'd love to answer because obviously with my lack of space and everything I don't have access to all my records, but I can answer some of them. Oldest LP might be this one, not sure, but it's pretty old. Because this is a 10-inch record on Decca label. The number is 5001 from 1949, so that's pretty old. Bing Crosby, Jerome Kern. I don't collect Bing Crosby at all, but I thought the cover was pretty. I also have this one, this French record that's pretty old. I can't find any information on the internet about the year, but it's Yves Montand on Odeon, made in France, and the number is OS1001. That's pretty early, and it looks old. It's really pretty old. Because I have 10-inch records right here, I decided to throw this one in. It's a pretty cover, I really love it. Tohama en tournée avec David McKersey at the organ, Jeff DeBeck and his Rickentickers. I just love the cover, it's beautiful. Okay, the most I've ever paid for a record would have to be this. In Canadian dollars, with the shipping, it comes to $103 for a double LP made in Germany, and the seller was Japanese. A lot of people bid against me, and I won because I really wanted this record. Out of the 24 songs, 7 of these songs have never been released on CD, and it was still cheaper to buy this double album to get all 7 songs than to try to find them in 45 format. And I really wanted that song here, Ishwar and Kain. I probably am not pronouncing this properly, but anyway, I really love France Gall. And the most expensive 45 is also France Gall. I'm going to explain it in French. Mon aéroplane par France Gall, 1971, sorti seulement au Canada, probablement même au Québec. Jamais sorti en France. L'amour boiteux sur l'autre face. M'a coûté environ 40 quelques dollars, 40 something dollars for this 45 of France Gall that's never been released outside of Quebec, of Canada. My most elusive record is a record I'm still looking for because this copy is not playable. The first copy that I ever listened to is not this one. It's my dad's copy that I massacred when I was a kid. I wrote my name in big blue letters with a crayon, and I would circle all the titles I liked. Anyway, I made a big mess. I totaled the record all scratchy. And this is the only copy I've been able to find in the last 25 years, and it looks nice and doesn't have many scratches at all, but when I played it, it sounds totaled. I mean, it sounds like it's been played with a needle, with a nail instead of a needle, with a brick on the tone arm. It's absolutely impossible, even if you lower the treble to minimum. So if you see this record, I don't think you will ever see it because it's not common, it's not rare at all in terms of value, but I'm probably the only chump in the world who's looking for this weird record by Les Joyeux Fanfarons du Bal Champêtre, Polkas, Mazurkas, 16 instrumental songs. Childhood memory, obviously. The record cover I hate the most, that I find the ugliest, is this one, because it doesn't serve the purpose. It says Inuit, nom masculin, signifie homme chez les habitants du nord-ouest canadien. Picture here. Problem with this record is you have no clue who sings on this record. And I've seen this record dozens and dozens of times when I was flipping through records at a store that's closed now in the 1980s and 1990s. And I ended up finding this copy when I've been given a whole pile of records, so I took a closer look and I flipped it, and then I saw it's Pierre Lalonde. I collect Pierre Lalonde's records. I was pretty angry that because this copy is not in very good condition, and now I don't see this record anymore. And I've seen probably over 100 copies of this. Has one of my favorite songs by him, Attention à la vie écoute. So yeah, it's a pretty lousy record cover. And no, there is no song on the record that has anything to do with the Eskimos or Inuit. Nothing. So that wins my award for the worst record cover. At least even the White Beetle record, the cover is white, but you know where to look for the Beetle name. You know what it is. But this, no idea. Record purchased the farthest from where you live. And I would add in person, so that excludes ordering records on eBay. In person, well, I'm in Quebec, and I bought these records in Australia when I went to Australia in 2004. I love Kangaroo, so I had to get this. David Evans and Thunder Down Under. Kangaroo. On the Reaction Records and Tapes label. Made in Australia, obviously. I also bought Beatles records when I was there. Beatles for sale with an exclusively Australian record cover, different from the the British sleeve on Parlophone. There we go. Also with the Beatles, different record cover here too in Australia because they couldn't ship the original photos for the cover in time for the release date, so they took a different sleeve, a different image. Also on Parlophone. And the Essential Beatles. Why can't say the word essential? Essential? No, essential. 1971 compilation made in Australia on the Apple label. There we go. I've shown these records already in my Beatles video. Weird records. Now, you're not going to see my best weird records because they're all over the place. I picked the first two weird records I stumbled on just to show an example. Messagère de Joie Volume 1 speaks for itself. No, they don't sing Dominic. I don't think so. No, Dominic is not there. It's a pretty happy record. And je vis. Mais 9 mois avant de naître. My 9 months before I'm born. Really weird. Je vis. Autograph record. I chose the last one I've autographed like about a month ago. Donald Lautrec was a big star in Quebec in the 60s and 70s. I have pretty much all of his records. Almost all of them. I even have a whole bunch of 45s too. So yeah, I grew up with his records. There it is. Now the most valuable records, I'm not sure. I have a few that I think are worth a lot. Dalida was a big international star. This record was an exclusive Canadian record. Dalida au Canada, obviously. The songs can be found on other records, but this is a very rare record. The vinyl is in excellent shape. And the record cover also is nice. I think, yeah, there's a little stamp there, and that's about it. It's a very rare record, very valuable. I've seen a total copy, like ruined, for $10 in the store, and the guy said I've never seen this record in great shape. I was very lucky. This record was worth, at one point, $400 on eBay. A few months after I bought this, a few years ago, people went nuts over this record on eBay, and then before I could figure out how to sell a record of my own, I've never sold on eBay at that point, the price went back down because somebody re-released it on vinyl. So no, but it's not bad. It's a Quebec-made disco record from roughly 1976 or 77. But I think my most valuable records are, in LP format at least, are my Brigitte Bardot records. This is the first album she made. This is not the gatefold cover, but it's a French pressing. And this is my favorite one. Bibi, Brigitte Bardot. It's a great cover, I love it. Just beautiful. And yes, I've put a plastic around it, but the original shrink wrap is still around the sleeve. Yeah. But my most prized possession is not an LP but a 78. I love this record. It's a weird 78. Both sides are the same except that, well, there's part 1, part 2, so I won't bother showing both labels. This is for Victor dealers. How to sell Victor home recording, parts 1 and 2, supplied by Advertising Department. Victor Talking Machine Company of Canada Limited. It's a fascinating record that I've heard. I've listened to it so often. Number BVE-62696. Probably from 1941 because it mentions the demonstration of a recording device that people could buy and use to record their own homemade recordings. And they mentioned the 1931 model, so that's how I dated this record. And I also have a blank record used on that machine. I cannot locate it at the moment, but I located a scan in my computer, and this is what the label looks like. Sorry for the effect that I should take this off. Yeah, this is better, I think. How come the center is coming out green? It's so weird. So it says Victor Home Recording Record. Use special home recording needles only. By Victor Talking Machine Company of Canada Limited, Montreal. The home recording notes written on it here says La Salle Cavalier A Vander I don't know how to pronounce. February 20th, 1936. Another side note I'd like to mention is that my father and his family, my grandpa, grandma, and uncles, they grew up right in front of the factory. And even at one point my dad got lost inside the factory. I don't know how he did that. I forgot what the exact story is, but he wandered off, and he was maybe 5 or 6 years old, and he has a photo taken with a security guard who gave him some candy, and my dad is clutching the candy in his fingers. So yeah, that's my favorite 78. I have other records that I could have shown, but that will be for another time because I don't have access to them. For instance, mispressings. Well, my most interesting mispressings are shown in one of my Beatles videos, the one where I show different colored vinyl records. Well, you can see a mispressed 45 by the Beatles there, and also a picture disc that's a Monkees picture disc, but they actually put the Beatles on it instead of the Monkees. Another thing I did not show was my favorite picture disc is probably a 78 also, a Vogue 78. I only have one. It's scratchy, but at least I have one. And my favorite colored vinyl record is also a 78, and it's a light blue, sky blue shellac. For those who don't know, shellac is what 78s are made of, not vinyl. Vinyl is 45s and LPs, but 78s are made out of shellac. And it's from the 1930s. It's on the Columbia label, and it's a Benny Goodman song. And it's beautiful, beautiful light blue shellac. So those will be for another time. Because yeah, I have a lot of records there that I can't reach, but all the cool stuff is all over the place. That will be for another time. So thank you for watching.